Last night, Jake Bauers came through in the clutch, delivering a 3-run homer in the bottom of the 8th that proved to be the difference maker as Tampa Bay evened the series. Today, the Rays' red-hot offense will look to continue their September surge and keep their playoff dreams alive. A look at Tropicana Field, getting set for the last of 3 between the Rays and the A's. The Rays trying to win the rubber game against the team they are chasing in the wild card hunt. Certainly a lot of ground to make up as the Rays got their 81st victory yesterday. Tampa Bay trying to conclude a homestand at 7-2 as well. They have certainly been terrific here in their home ballpark. Hi, everybody. In for Dwayne Stats, who we hope feels better soon. Neil Solondz, you can call me the latest opener. In with Brian Anderson, getting set for the Rays and A's. Well, the Rays certainly have opened well offensively yesterday with quite a salvo against an Oakland A's team that's been one of the best pitching clubs right now in baseball. Slice the other way. Long run, Jake Bauers dives and makes the play. This is a guy who has predominantly played first base, but that is a web gem. And it's a 1-2-3 inning for Jamie Schultz and the Rays. What a play by Bauers. Are there times where, if you're a pitcher, you may feel comfortable throwing that breaking ball to one-sided hitter like a lefty like Kiermaier, but not to the righty?
Yeah, and that may be it. The curveball to the lefties right now because he can drop it.
And he dropped that one way back and gone for Willie Adames on a high fastball. And it's 3-0 Rays. Maybe he should have gone to the curve.
With all of the guys that have the 20-plus, 25-plus potential.
Potential double play ball. Adames, Lau, inning over. And the Rays keeping the A's off the board, keeping the ball on the ground. Line drive down the right field line. That's a fair ball for Lau. So the 2-out walk leads to 1 run. Carlos Gomez will be waved around third. Here's Lowry coming home. Not in time. 2 more 2-out runs for the Rays. It's 5-0. Diego Castillo with an awful good start. Fan 2 and a perfect top of the first. So we check the lineups in the bottom of the first for the Rays, presented by your local Ford dealers. Malik Smith to lead it off. Tommy Pham, who had his hit streak snapped yesterday, is off today, as is Joey Wendell. So they got C.J. Cron in the lineup. C.J. hitting in the cleanup spot, and we'll see if Malik Smith can get it going against one Mike Fiers, who's been very good. In fact, the A's have not lost any of his 7 starts, and he's given up more than 2 runs only once in those 7.
He has been extremely sharp, and like we said in the open, manipulates the strike zone. You know, he's got the fastball, split, slider, curve. He'll cut the fastball every now and then, and so it's just a matter of moving that ball around the zone, not overpowering with the velocity.
And there he starts with a fastball, only 88, but when he uses his curveball, which is in the low 70s, it really plays up, doesn't it?
Yeah, well, anytime you can get that kind of range between 2 pitches, you know, especially off-speed fastball, whether it's changeup or curveball, it helps that fastball gain.
And it's hard for a hitter when they see 88, 89, 90, I would think, to lay off a high fastball because it looks invited, but it's tough to square up.
Especially when, anytime you bring pitches.
Malik looped this down the left field line. Martina a long run, can't get it, but it's a foul ball. And Malik Smith now down 1-2.
You know, anytime you go into a series, first of all, hitters love to hit the fastball. I mean, that's what you grew up. Every hitter likes to hit the fastball. When you go into a particular game and you know that the guy doesn't have an overpowering fastball and that he likes to pitch up in the zone where it's close to your eyes and you see it big, you know, sometimes it's like, that's why you don't go grocery shopping on an empty stomach. You know, the eyes get big and you want to get everything. You want to go after those pitches. And like you said, Jake Odorizzi was the king of that. Right out over the middle of the plate, 91, 92, and either swing throughs or pop-ups. That's what Fiers is going to try and do with the curveball off of that.
Nice job by Malix to stave off the fastball up. I got to make sure to take notes on that and not go to the grocery store on an empty stomach next time. I guess I've done that too often.
Listen, we all have. You end up getting home and unpacking stuff, and you're like, what was the idea behind this?
Nope. Malik Smith, second in the American League in hitting at home. Sees a changeup. First one from Fiers in this sequence, and it's even. Rays already have bullpen activity going in the bottom half of the first with Diego Castillo opening. Maybe a slight surprise in terms of who they have warming. Malik Smith chops one right back to Fiers. And there's one gone here in the first.
Well, let's quickly set the Oakland Athletic defense for you, brought to you by Golden Diamond Source. And in the outfield left to right, we've got Nick Martini, Ramon Laureano, and Stephen Piscotty. Across the infield, third to first, Matt Chapman, Marcus Semien, Jed Lowry, and Matt Olson, with Jonathan Lucroy behind the plate.
Meanwhile, for the Rays, they already have bullpen activity going. It's Andrew Kittredge getting loose. I would assume likely to pitch the second for Tampa Bay. There's a look at Andrew, who's pitched in the first two games in this series. Inside, and Matt Duffy hit by a pitch, and that's the Rays' first base runner. Rays lead the league in hit by pitches. And the Rays have a man aboard for Ji-Man Choi.
Boy, and I'll tell you, Matt Duffy had no chance in getting out of the way of that one. Those are the types of hit by pitch where you say to yourself, is there a history here, or what's going on behind that? Because Mike Fiers, you know, since he's come over to the Oakland Athletics, he's walked, what, 6 guys? 7 guys in 7 starts. So his command and control has been impeccable. That was nowhere near anything but Matt Duffy's ribs.
Yeah, it was kind of surprising. Again, Rays lead the league in hit by pitches this year. As a team, they've been hit 91 times now as Ji-Man Choi takes outside and with the changeup. Ji-Man has not had a hit in this series. He's had some big hits for the Rays lately. And you could say he is due for one against the Oakland A's. Maybe somebody didn't like Jake Bauer's bat flip and they didn't want to wait till the third. I mean, they shouldn't. It wasn't about, he wasn't trying to, and I get why people worry about showing up, but are you allowed to show emotion in an 8th inning homer in a game that means a lot to your team when you haven't hit well for 3 months?
When I saw him do it, my first thought was, who's going to wear one tomorrow? Well, I mean, that's just the way that a lot of times it works its way out. Do it if you want, but, you know, that. And listen, you can understand being obviously super excited. You figure you just won the game.
And he's had the frustration for 3 months of not hitting, too. I think that's on top of it. He was 4 for 66 entering the day. So why not hit him instead of, I mean, if you're going to take your frustrations out on somebody. Well, I'm not saying it was intentional, but it certainly looked it.
It did run up and in. I mean, he said he had no chance.
Double play ball, but Lowry kicks it. They'll still not be able to turn it. Boy, I thought they still were going to have time because it was well struck off the bat. But Marcus Semien not able to make that relay in time, and give Ji-Man Choi credit for hustling down the line here.
Yeah, you know what? You see that from all these Rays hitters. This lineup, they play with a lot of energy, you know, a lot of enthusiasm. We've been talking about that all season long, but the way that they get out of the box, you know, Ji-Man Choi could have pulled up right there, you know, just out of frustration, figuring I just grounded into an inning-ending double play, but instead he's busting it the whole way and takes advantage of the little miscue by Lowry.
Well, now can the Rays take advantage offensively, and C.J. Cron has homered twice in his career against Mike Fiers, and of course leads the Rays in home runs this season. And Fiers again will give up the home run ball occasionally, 28 of them this season, despite the good numbers. I would think, even though CJ's hit the home run against him, that this would be tough because at times he has trouble laying off the high fastball.
Well, you see teams, you know, trying to exploit that. You know, we know that C.J. Cron handles that ball middle of the plate, down and in, loves with the high hands to drop the barrel right into the pitch.
And he got one there, way back and way gone. It's the home run ball again we talked about in the open. Rays are slugging in September.
And another one with a runner on. And look where they tried to go with the pitch. Middle of the plate, middle down. Like we said, that is the danger area. You stay out of there with C.J. Cron at the plate. This is the result.
So the last 2 days, that's 7 runs on the home run ball. Lau, Bowers, and now Cron with men on. And the Rays do take advantage of that defensive mistake. That was a routine double play ball that wasn't turned. Brandon Lau, who hit the home run yesterday, now standing in. Good changeup from Fiers. Well, good teams, and the Rays have been a really good team the last several weeks, take advantage of opportunities.
Yeah, you give a good team an extra out, and a lot of times they make you pay. The Rays have been doing an awful lot of that here recently.
And we said that Fiers is prone to give up the home run ball. I mean, although since he's been with Oakland, only one start has he given up more than 2 runs. That was against Seattle. Working on his 4th major league club, the A's. Lau got a hold of that one. Laureano playing shallow, long way to go. He's a tremendous outfielder, though, and he makes the play on the track, and that'll do it. Brandon gave it a long ride. It is an out, but CJ's could not be held, and the Rays have a 2-0 lead after 1. Here's what's coming up tomorrow on Rays Live, the pregame show presented by your local Honda dealers. The Rays in Texas to take on the Rangers. We'll hear from Tyler Glasnow, who is the starting pitcher. And then Orestes will break down Adrian Beltre, elected to stay with the Rangers this season. A tough season in Texas. We'll see if the Rays can take the heat and continue their winning ways. I've got a new look on the mound for the A's, at least in terms of hair.
Wow.
Mike Fiers is out. Corey Guerin is in.
Look at that. I'll tell you, that's impressive. That brings back the memories, the 80s, mid-80s. Sunset Strip, the whiskey.
Do I want to know about
Whiskey
your
a Go-Go?
Yes.
Yeah, the Troubadour. The Rainbow Bar and Grill.
Favorite hair band?
That's where they hung out.
Guerin's 3rd team this year is Matt Duffy, the first guy this season. Fouls went off.
You know, next season, the Rays schedule has come out, and they go out and have a weekend series in Anaheim against the Angels with a day off, and then a 2-game series against the Dodgers up in L.A. And so there's a real good chance on that day off that I'm going to visit those 3 haunts. Real good chance.
Favorite band from that?
Well, Guns N' Roses.
Okay. There's some people will like others. Different.
Who could possibly like anybody else?
Some people don't call them a true hair band because they were more hard rock than. I mean, they're different from like the Poisons and the.
Oh yeah, they didn't go with the makeup. Now they did tease their hair early on. You know, if you see the Welcome to the Jungle video, Axl's hair's poofed. But then after that, they went Bad Boys of Rock and Roll, most dangerous band in the world style.
Good to go back to the 80s for a few minutes here. And 90s.
It's a great place to be.
It's Matt Duffy behind in the count 1 and 2.
As I'm driving to the airport, I will get into the car, and if I'm going to listen to talk satellite radio, yeah, but you know, the number one preset is Hair Nation.
Got it. Is that what you listen on the way in?
It branches off significantly from there, but that's the go-to. That's where it starts. Then you may go to Turbo. You may go to Lithium. That's 90s. Then you may go to, who knows, MLB radio.
I think it's almost ironic that your preset coming to the ballpark is Hair Nation for a guy with no hair on the top of his head.
Another reason to love Hair Nation. I appreciate all sorts of hair now. No, I had my shot at it.
Okay.
It wasn't that good. It left.
My hair isn't that good. I just don't have it.
Which is, see, that's so it means you have a chance, Neil. You have a chance. You can make it good. I can't make mine anything.
Matt Duffy right to his counterpart at third. Chapman line to line. Boy, that's a bullet and 1 gone. Pretty good stuff so far for the Rays.
Yeah. Well, you know what? It's like seeing how it's football season. You know, they talk about Bill Belichick and one of the best football coaches out there, and what he likes to do is take away what you do well, and that's what the Rays have done in this series against the Oakland A's. You know, so dependent on the extra base hit and the long ball. They've taken that away. You know, the Rays are one of the best teams in all of Major League Baseball, limiting home runs, limiting the extra base hit, and they have done another great job of that in this series, and they put themselves in position to win this series.
And just one single so far for Oakland, and the Rays on top 3-0 is Ji-Man Choi still looking for his first hit in the series, facing Corey Guerin. We mentioned this is his third club this year. He has been with Texas, the team the Rays will face next, and San Francisco. So he's gone up to California. I don't know if he got to see his hair bands up there, but his hair is prime.
Yeah, no, I mean, listen, if you've got the opportunity, hey, the Rays have some guys that can fire out some hair. Hunter Wood, Ryan Stanek.
Chaz Rowe's not bad.
Chaz Cornrow there for a few days last week.
G-Man a little behind that sinking fastball.
Yeah, look at
There's
that.
a look.
Look at that.
No cornrows today.
No, he took him out a couple of days ago.
His hair game is pretty good, though. It's a good competition between those two guys and Hunter Wood.
You know what? I'm going to tell you what. I tip my hat more than anything else is the fact that you can have that kind of hair all summer long here in Florida.
It is tough.
Oh, boy.
It's a good thing you have 81 games indoors. Actually 90 when you count the games against the Blue Jays. And more than that, if you look at Houston, I mean, there's enough games in domes now where I guess it's possible. It's not easy when you have to leave the house.
No. Well, yeah, you're outside, you know, for a good portion of the day, or at least away from the ballpark. I guess that's where you twirl it up into a man bun, come on into the ballpark, and then let it flow.
Things I would not know about. Man buns, that is. I just never had enough hair to do them. Joy now ahead in the count, 3-1.